I'm making this little photo for the request of my precious, precious granddaughter. She wants it as a surprise for everyone, and I hope it won't be a disappointment, but a surprise. And I love each of you, and I hope that you'll keep it for years. First, I want to say all these little rhymes that I said when they were very little. And when my son Jeff was little and my daughter Brenda, they got the same thing. So I guess it's old, is the saying in the South, old as water and twice as weak. So, all right, first I'm going to say that this mother was struggling to get her little ones ready for bed for Christmas in their little house. So the boys, their names were Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. First she says, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, come now, get your nice shirts on. Lawsy me, you sure am lazy. 'Pears to me you drive me crazy. What on earth make you so slow? Lordy, I'd surely like to know. What's that, Mark? What make you cry? Matthew hit you in the eye. Come here, boy, and my hand am just itching to give you one more switching. Santa Claus don't like bad boys, and never ever leaves them any toys. And what's that, Luke? Your stomach's aching? That's from sampling all my bacon. I'll give you some castor oil. That'll fix you after a while. And what's that, John? Am there a Santa? Will he come to this here Shanta? What a question, I'd be blamed. I think you ought to be ashamed. Ain't he come most every year, driving all them fine white reindeers? Ain't he filled your children's stocking? Child, you'll sure am question. It sure am shocking. Now you get in your little beds and Mama kiss your kinky heads. And you close those sleepy eyes, 'cause Santa's gonna be here by and by.
I love that. Yeah. Oh, okay. Little Orphan Annie.
What's the next one?
Little Orphan Annie.
Okay, and here's another favorite with all their parents and their Uncle Jeff and their mother Brenda. And I was so little when I used to say this to them too. But what is it?
Little Orphan Annie. It's okay.
It's about Little Orphan Annie. Little Orphan Annie came to our house to stay, to wash the cups and saucers up and brush the crumbs away, chop the wood and build the fire and sweep, to earn her board and keep. And when the supper dishes were done, we'd all sit around the stove and have the mostest fun, listening to the witch tales that Annie talks about, and the goblin's going to get you if and you don't watch out. Once there was a little girl who'd always laughed and grinned, made fun of everyone, even her blood and kin. Well, once there was company and the old folks was there, she mocked them and shocked them and said she didn't care. But just as she kicked up her heels to run and hide, there was two great big black things standing by her side. They snatched her through the ceiling before she knew what it was all about. And the goblin's going to get you, and if you don't watch out. There was also a little boy who wouldn't say his prayers, and he'd go to bed at night way upstairs. One night his mammy heard him holler, and his pappy heard him squall, and when they turned the kivers back, he wasn't there at all. They seeked him in the rafter room, this cubby hole and press. They seeked him in the chimney flue, and everywhere, I guess, but all they ever found of him was his pants and roundabout. And the goblin's going to get you if and you don't watch out. Now, wait a minute. Little Orphan Annie says, when the lamp wick splutters and the wind goes, ooh, you better mind your parents and your teacher fond and dear, and cherish them that love you, and dry the orphan's tear, and help the poor and needy that's cast all about, or the goblin's going to get you if and you don't watch out.
Yay. Very nice. Okay. I know you don't want to do this one, so they can hear my voice. Would you tell us Old Short anyway? I know it has a naughty word in it, but if you would.
Well, this is a naughty one that my granddaughter, that's doing this whole wonderful thing for everybody in the family, she wants me to say it anyway. It is few potty words, and that's one of her expressions. Mimi, you used a potty word. Okay.
Old Short.
Yeah, well, one time my brother Ed And Bill Prine, which is later on became my brother-in-law, was visiting in Kentucky. And we had a poor old horse, and his name was Short. Well, Short got, so I was told, because I was little, and I sneaked around and listened to everything. Well, he had gotten into the oat field. He'd broken out, and he ate. And he got puffy, was all swollen, and he died. So my brother Ed, the great one in the family, always thinking of the cheerful things, said, I know what we'll say around, we'll have a funeral. So they had the funeral for poor Short, and I'm hiding, listening to all this. I'm not even supposed to be with the crowd. And it said, my brother said, okay, we're going to look at Short now. Everybody look down. Old Short died in the beautiful grass with a hole in his side and a fly in his ass. Now that is naughty, and that is a potty word. And if she wants to erase this, she's more than welcome to it.
No, she won't.
Should have her little picture on here because she's smiling all over the place because Mimi used a potty word. And she always used to say, oh, Mimi, you just used a potty word. Don't do that.
Okay, I'll let you redeem yourself. How about telling me Raggedy Man?
Oh,
Repeat that.
okay. Also, the Raggedy Man. The Raggedy Man, he is so good. He chops the kindling and splits the wood. And he climbed way up in our big tree and shook an apple down for me. And another one for Elizabeth Ann. Now, isn't he a great old Raggedy Man? That Raggedy Man, he comes to our house most every day, waters the horses and feeds them hay. And he opens the barn door and we all just laugh when he lets out that little wobbly calf. And if the hired girl says he can, he milks the cow for Elizabeth Ann. Now, isn't he a great old Raggedy Man? Raggedy, Raggedy, Raggedy Man. The Raggedy Man, he knows the mostest rhymes. And he tells them to me if I'm good sometimes. He knows about giants, elves, and squiggy comes squeeze that swallows himself. Or right by the pasture in our pond, right down the pasture and right by the pump in our pasture lot. He showed me a hole that the Wonks has got that lives way down deep in the ground and can turn into me or Elizabeth Ann. Now isn't he a funny old Raggedy Man? Raggedy, Raggedy, Raggedy Man.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Okay. Should we give him the finale here? Can you sing Buckaroo for us? It's the classic.
Well, now this is probably, I'll think of a jillion other songs after this is over, but this is the one thing that my Christy wants, and she shall have it. And so it's Buckaroo. That I guess it's as old as the hills, and as we say in Kentucky, old as water and twice as weak. It's that old. But anyway, it goes.
So good.
Okay. First you start scratching the back, make them real sleepy, and then this is when they were so small that they had little pajamas with the feet in them, so that their little feet wouldn't get cold. So it's a go to sleep, my little buckaroo, close your sleepy eyes, my little buckaroo, and remember that your dad was just a tot like you. Now go to sleep, Mimi's buckaroo. Ooh, close your sleepy eyes, my little buckaroo, and remember that your dad was once a tot like you. Now go to sleep, Mimi's buckaroo.
Oh, you make me cry. That's perfect. Thank you. Isn't she just the most special thing in the world? And that's your present to everybody. You want to tell us you'll love us?
I can't think of anything else. That's long enough anyway, huh?
It is. You want to tell everybody you love them? Tell everybody in the camera.
I love all of you, and a Merry Christmas, and a Happy, Happy New Year. Together we're together to praise and to be thankful for all we have every day. And for some reason, My grandchildren just attached to Mimi. I don't know why.
You don't know why. She spoils
But I
us.
love all of you. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and God bless all.
We love you too.